This is the Environmental Channel. My name is Kathir.
And my name is Ramil. And we're going to be talking about climate change in Turkey.
Basically, what climate change is the global warming and the rising temperatures in an area or a specific country. The way it affects Turkey is it increases air temperature, increases summer heat, like it causes more heat waves and stuff like that. And also, during the winter time, it increases precipitation, which means it forms less snow, which is not good. And the emissions that are caused in Turkey throughout 2014, the numbers are 335,000 KT, and per capita it is 14 T. And with the largest producer of emissions in Turkey, it's not just one company that does everything. It's a large company because in the Middle East, Turkey is an oil and gas company. So every company that produces any chemical that produces emissions. So you really can't narrow it down to one company. It's just a bunch of companies that produce emissions throughout the air pollution and throughout the air. The way Turkey affects the world is since it's an oil and gas company, they send a lot of tankers throughout the ocean, and what the tankers they've caused a lot of accidents, spilling lots of oil into the Bosphorus Strait, which is actually a huge oil reef area and has contains a lot of fish. And what happens is with the oil, it kills off the fish and kills off the coral reef, taking off the CO2 emissions in the air.
Yeah, that's great.
And the way Turkey compares to the rest of the world is, I feel Turkey's emissions may not. Well, with the same thing as I was saying is Turkey's emissions. They decrease a lot of the production in their own country, which means they decrease a lot of fisheries due to the oil spills. And overall, as compared to other countries, it is not that bad compared to China throughout its air pollution. Like, people don't have to wear air masks to cover their face, but also it's doing a lot better because they have spent a couple $1 billion spending to make renewable energy and also stuff like that. So compared to other countries, Turkey is doing a lot better than most countries.
Alright, well, you may ask, what can Turkey do to lower the carbon emission or reduce waste? Well, non-fossil fuels sources have a high share of energy in Turkey right now, and they are researching more and developing more ideas to substitute fossil fuels into non-fossil fuels. And that means that Turkey is relying on hydropower and hydroelectricity, which, they're going to build dams, mostly related to water because they're surrounded by water. And they're also looking into wind power, so that's one thing that can reduce carbon emission. But the thing is that even though the sources have made great inroads to the renewable sources, energy sources supply mix, there's more for research and development in Turkey. So it's going to take time, slowly and gradually, for Turkey to reduce and lower all the carbon emission and pollution in their country. And now you may ask, what's the evidence to prove the climate is changing in Turkey? Well, there has been coherent warning trends during the summer over Turkey in 1960. And that means that the frequency of cool nights increases and the increases of warmer nights. And the changes in precipitation are mixed with increase in winter and west and increases in the autumn in the north. These studies were provided by the metoffice.gov.uk. One more thing. How does carbon dioxide hurt humans? Well, CO2 is poisoning, and it is linked to many diseases and many central nervous breakdowns, which it basically damages your nervous system and can cause permanent deterioration or failure of respiratory functions. It also affects your pH level of your bloodstream, turning into more acidic. It can cause nerve damage too, brought on by acidemia, and include delirium, hallucination, seizure, respiratory failure, coma, and death. And now, how can 2 or 1 degrees in global average temperature can impact on our lives? That's a good question, but it's a very, very important question, because as Turkey is surrounded by many seas, like in the north, west, it's surrounded by everywhere. The change in temperature can cause regular flooding, which you may see once a year, and now it will be more frequent, so like every month or so. And as a farmer, it can affect you too, because it can cause seasonal shift and produce less rain, which can impact the economy, because that means low production of food, crops, and everything. It can also increase your electricity bills, because if there's high winters, then you might need to raise up your heating.
And we like to save our money.
Yep, who doesn't? And it can also attract diseases like malaria in warmer or wetter regions. So that's one of the problems that we may face, temperature rise. So we'll wrap this off with another last question. Will a rise in sea level affect our country, or Turkey it is? The melting of ice caps will raise the sea level, which increases the temperature, and since Turkey has an 8,333 kilometer coastline, it can affect it by coastal erosion, inundation, flooding due to storm surges, and saltwater intrusion to freshwater resources will affect Turkey and other countries along it.
And the last question is it too late for Earth? I believe that's an open-ended question, which means no. In my opinion, I believe it is not too late for Earth if we keep continuing. If we change our habits between going for renewable sources, like Mia said in Turkey, how they do hydroelectricity, wind turbines, etc. But if we keep to continue using oil products and causing more pollution, I believe the Earth will die one day, and we will have nowhere to go. And the second question is, is it too late for your country? No, I believe Turkey is doing a great job, because they spent a lot of money on with renewable sources, and they're actually making a change and not just doing the same thing over and over by using oil and gas products. That's how I believe it'll be okay. And that's a wrap.